My name is Investigator Jackson, and I'm with the Scotland County Sheriff's Office.
I'm Investigator Dover, also with the Sheriff's Office of Scotland County.
Okay, so our first question is, how has new age technology impacted the way law enforcement protects and serves their population?
Well, new age technology has been tremendous. I mean, from years ago, I've only been in law enforcement for 5 years, but current DNA testing, cell phone tracking, fingerprinting, things like GPS tracking, they've been helpful in solving a lot of cases. So without new technology, we wouldn't even be where we are as far as solving cases.
Okay.
How does technology help solve crimes here in Scotland County?
Well, I can give you an example. Fingerprinting, for example. So let's say this is a fingerprint card, which it is, and you leave an impression somewhere at a crime scene. I would lift that impression using, and I just bought tape, for example, because you can get an impression lifted from anything with tape. Not any surface, but yeah, the surface kind of does it if your hand is greasy. So we would lift that print that we see there using, dust and print dust, and we would compare it with someone that has been incarcerated. Maybe their fingerprints are on file, and you guys are aware that no fingerprint is alike, right? So we're going to use your fingerprint as an example. So thumb down lightly. Okay, so the ridges in your print, no one else has those ridges, so we're able to compare this in a database that's at the SBI lab or the FBI lab, and they can run these ridges into their system and compare it to see if you've ever been, like I said, arrested or incarcerated in prison. So it's really helpful with technology.
It's a whole lot better if we actually have a suspect, we think somebody's doing it, or you can pin them to it real easy. It's just lit by a fingerprint.
Okay, thank you. Are there any new technologies being developed for your beneficial use?
Well, like Investigator Dover discussed, GPS tracking, that's constantly being updated. So a lot of times when you have a cell phone and you've committed a crime, and let's say we know that you have a cell phone and we know the number, we're able to, what it's called, ping different cell towers and track where you've been, where you located during a certain period of time. So that's just amazing within itself, because that's not something that a person is able to delete or destroy. Those records are, within the telephone company and the pinging agency, so you're able to just track people, and things like text messages and cell phone calls that you make. A lot of people think, okay, if I delete it off my phone, it never happened. Well, certain databases can't be deleted.
And you get time periods, somebody's telling you they're here, and whenever they were there, it's just, it pinpoints where they at, what they were doing at that time.
Uh-huh.
All right. Does the crime rate increase or decrease due to ever-changing technologies?
I would think that it increases, because technology is, people are aware of, destroying cell phone records or throwing away their cell phone. Now prepaid phones are so common that it's hard to track people even more. So crimes, I think, are increasing because people are getting smarter. So that's why we have to be smarter and stay updated with training and the latest technology, so we know how to counteract the criminals getting smarter.
Are there any new gadgets being tested now in law enforcement?
Currently, I think there are. That's way above my pay scale. So I think, they're. Like
we had a thing last year. It was last year when they brought the little spy plane down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the drones.
They're doing drones where they're real quiet. They go up. It's basically people look for people with helicopters and stuff. But these are real quiet. They can go up about a mile up.
Yeah.
And different widths and heights, and where they could see things like this right here, these pictures right here. You could be in a drone and nobody can actually see it, and you can actually look for suspects and look for things like that.
Yeah, especially in
and
wooded areas.
We saw that last year. That's the first time I'd seen it.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been a law enforcer? Would you say this job has become easier due to the ever-changing technical world?
Due to the ever-changing technology.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's very helpful having technology. I mean, without it, I think
nothing's easier.
yeah, I don't think it's easier, but I think it's so helpful and so important, especially like he said, the drones. If we're looking for someone and they're in a highly dense wooded area that we can't go in, at least we're able to see and view from a camera angle. So, you know, we wouldn't be where we are without technology improving.
What was the major technology in law enforcement in 2000?
In the year 2000?
Yes, ma'am.
A major, for us, for our department, I would say like live scan. We didn't really have,
What live scan is, see how she took your fingerprint here? Well, live scan is a machine. It's clear. It's a clear glass. We can take your fingerprints, and there's no ink on you, and then we send it straight to the SBI lab. We don't have to send it in the mail. What else can you add to that?
I mean, it's just easier because think how this was the old way of fingerprinting, right? So you're taking a stamped ink, you're doing it, then you're mailing it in. What happens during weather? You know, this is just getting mailed somewhere.
Yeah.
So if the weather's damp outside, the moisture is smudging these prints. So now it's just electronic. It goes right to the
It's a
SBI.
piece of glass on the machine. Take your fingerprints, send it to the lab. It's done. It's real quick, real easy. No miss.
With all the social networking today in society, would you say it's a disadvantage or advantage to solving crimes?
I think it's an advantage.
Yeah.
Because people like to tell everything they do, and if you got a suspect in a crime, you can go on Facebook and look them up, and most of the time they're gonna brag about what they're doing. So it's a huge advantage.
And like I said, records like that can't be deleted, so it's definitely a way to trace a person's history and what they've been doing, who they've been communicating with. I know a lot of people tend to use fake names and stuff, but the IBS numbers, IBS, whatever the internet that they're using at their house or someone else's house, that can be traced back to that person. So it makes it, easier if you're using electronic things, actually. Because like I said, and I know I'm repeating this, but that stuff can't be deleted.
Would you have rather been a law enforcer in times like the 1900s where technology was just coming around, or would you rather have been here today due to technology?
I'll let you go first.
I can't answer that. I don't know. I've been doing this for about 8 years, so I think it's better now. I think it's better now because of the technology. I think it would have been a whole lot harder. Well, I've seen years where somebody went to jail 30 years ago for murder, and now they let them out because DNA didn't match. I think it's better on everybody now when you send somebody to prison because you're more sure. 20, 30 years ago, just when somebody said you were at the scene, more than likely you're probably going to prison. And you didn't even do it. And y'all see that a lot. I don't know if y'all know this on the news where you see it a lot here lately. People get out after being in 20, 30 years because they do DNA stuff shows that they didn't do it.
Okay.